The stars were quiet. After many years of war, the galaxy was tired. Battles between alien empires and humanity had left many planets in ruins. Billions had died. Space had become a graveyard. People wanted peace. They begged for it. And finally, peace arrived. A grand ceremony was held on the Galactic Station, a huge space city floating between Earth and Mars. Leaders from many alien races gathered. Cameras from every planet broadcasted the event. People cheered, flags waved, music played. Humanity's president smiled as he shook hands with the alien Grand Chancellor. A treaty was signed, the Galactic Peace Accord. It promised no more war, no more secret weapons, no more spying, only trade, knowledge, and peace. The world celebrated. On Earth, people danced in the streets. Children were told that the war was over. Soldiers returned home. Cities lit up with fireworks, but not everyone believed in the treaty. In the shadows of the celebration, Commander Elena Reyes watched the news with cold eyes. She sat alone in a dark military room, deep underground. She didn't smile, she didn't cheer. She whispered, "It's too easy." Reyes was one of humanity's best war minds. She had fought in over 60 space battles. She had seen alien tricks before. And this peace felt wrong. She pressed a button on the desk in front of her. A screen turned on. Protocol black. "Ice status?" a robotic voice replied. "Sleeping, awaiting activation." Commander Reyes looked at the screen for a long moment. Then she said, "Wake it up." Far above Earth, a small human satellite turned on. It was silent, invisible to alien sensors. It began scanning space again. Deep under Antarctica, a secret base powered up. It looked like a science station from the outside. But inside, it was a military center filled with artificial intelligence and hidden weapons. In a hidden room, Reyes met with 4 people, all in plain clothes. No uniforms, no medals, just quiet faces and sharp eyes. "We signed peace," said one of them. "Shouldn't we honor it?" Reyes shook her head. "Peace is a mask. The aliens are smiling too much." "They always smile," said another man. "That's the problem," Reyes replied. "They smile when they lie." Back in space, strange things began to happen. A group of alien ships moved near Jupiter's moon Ganymede. They said it was a research mission, but they didn't send data to the Council. They didn't answer Earth's calls. Human patrol ships moved close, quietly. They watched, listened, waited. At the same time, a human spy, a woman named Talia Wren, sent a short message from an alien outpost. "They are building something big. It's not a ship, it's a weapon. I'll send more info soon." Then her signal went dark. Reyes stood in the command center under Antarctica, staring at the screen where the message had ended. "Find her," she said to her team, "and double our surveillance on all alien systems. I want to know everything." 1 week later, a drone recorded something strange. A huge structure, hidden in a dark part of space behind a gas cloud. It was 3 times the size of any alien battleship ever built. The aliens called it a peace station, but there were no diplomats on board, no scientists, only weapons, massive weapons. Commander Reyes gathered her top team in the hidden base. "We signed a treaty," she said, "but they were building this even before the ink was dry." "So what now?" someone asked. Reyes smiled for the first time in days, a cold, sharp smile. "We let them play their game, but we'll play ours better." Behind every smiling face of peace, humanity moved like a shadow. They reactivated old stealth programs. Secret ships began construction under the oceans and on hidden moons. Cyber units hacked alien signals and stored everything. The aliens thought humanity was relaxing, celebrating, trusting. They were wrong. Reyes stood alone at night, looking at a screen showing the stars. "Let them think we sleep," she said. quietly. But when they strike, we'll be ready. Just before the episode ends, an encrypted message comes from deep space. They are preparing a test, something powerful. Earth might be target, then static. The screen cuts to black. The ice above was silent. But beneath it, war was waking up. Far under Antarctica's frozen land, hidden for years, lay Base Orion, a top-secret human facility built in silence, far from the eyes of the Galactic Council. To the world, it was a climate research center. But behind sealed doors and thick walls of steel, it was something else, a fortress. Inside Base Orion, Commander Elena Reyes walked through long metallic corridors. Lights blinked, doors hissed open, dozens of officers stood at attention as she passed, their faces serious. No one laughed here, no one smiled. The time for peace was over. In the main control room, large screens showed images from space. Alien. Ship movements, deep space listening posts, thermal scans of enemy engines. Reyes stood before them, arms crossed. Her voice was calm. The aliens are moving pieces on the board, but they don't know we're still playing. Her second-in-command, Colonel Voss, stepped forward. We finished decoding the last signal from Agent Talia. It confirms a superweapon is almost complete. Size, planetary scale, purpose, unknown. Reyes narrowed her eyes. Target? Voss hesitated. Possibly. Earth. Back in orbit, the peace treaty still held on paper. Meetings still happened. Smiles still showed on the news. The president gave speeches of unity. Alien ambassadors spoke of shared futures, but behind the curtain, both sides were preparing for something much darker. Base Orion wasn't just a bunker, it was a brain. At its core was Oryx, the most advanced, artificial military mind ever built by humans. It processed thousands of alien signals per second, tracked movement, analyzed patterns, and planned defense strategies faster than any human. Now, Oryx spoke for the first time in months. Simulation complete. Alien fleet construction indicates 87% chance of first strike within 19 days. Recommends silent mobilization of Shadow Wing. Reyes gave a single nod. Do it. Shadow Wing was not an army. It was a ghost. 15 stealth ships. No transponders. No known engine trails. No markings. No laws. Created for one purpose, to defend Earth in silence. On a secret moon base near Neptune, Shadow Wing began launch preparation. Pilots were called. Orders were whispered, never written. Meanwhile, Reyes held a private meeting with 3 old veterans, men and women who had seen the first alien wars. One asked, why not tell the people? Warn the world? Reyes looked at the star map glowing on the table. She tapped a red circle, the location of the enemy superweapon. If we tell them, there will be panic, fear, chaos, and worst of all, someone might try to stop us from fighting back. She looked up. We will not be victims again. This time, we strike first, in silence. The world above still believed in peace. Children drew pictures of alien friends. Schools taught history lessons about the end of Va. News hosts smiled and talked about a future of shared galaxies. But in Base Orion, soldiers trained day and night. Oryx ran 1,000 simulations per hour. Missiles were loaded into underground silos, and Shadow Wing's ships disappeared into the dark, moving like sharks through the deep sea of space. Then came the crack. A space probe near Saturn picked up a sudden energy spike. Not normal. It was coming from the coordinates where Agent Talia had last sent her message. The data was sent to Oryx. The AI's voice turned cold. Weapon ignition confirmed. Charging rate suggests firing capacity in 48 hours. Margin of error, 6 hours. Reyes didn't blink. Then we have 42. A new screen lit up behind her. A blurry image of the weapon, like a dark moon, covered in spines, glowing with alien runes. Its center pulsed like a heart. The aliens called it the Cleanser. It wasn't just a weapon. It was extinction. Reyes called a command meeting. No, Speeches, she said, just facts. She pointed to the image of the cleanser. This is not about pride or power. This is about survival. We gave peace. They gave silence. Now we give them our answer. From the shadows. Back at the Galactic Council, alien leaders spoke of unity. They praised the treaty. They smiled. For the cameras. But that same night, the Council's satellite defenses went dark for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. But that's all Shadow Wing needed. In those 3 minutes, 3 human ships landed on a hidden asteroid base. One spy drone attached itself to the alien superweapon, and an encrypted message from Agent Talia returned. They plan to fire in 2 days. Target confirmed, Earth. I'll stop them from inside, or die trying. As Reyes read the message, her hand tightened into a fist. She turned to Oryx. Prepare Operation Ghostfire. The AI responded, confirmed. Strike begins in 12 hours. The camera zooms out slowly, showing Earth quietly spinning in space. Unaware. Then the music stops. Black screen. Space was quiet again. Too quiet. The Galactic Council had said the war was over. They had said the treaty was real. That the aliens and humans were now friends. But in the dark, far away from the cameras and speeches, a new war had already begun. The human spy, Agent Talia Wren, moved silently through the corridors of the alien space station. She wore a grey uniform with no markings. Her face was calm, but her heart was racing. She had just heard something terrible. A secret meeting, alien leaders, a final plan, and Earth was the target. Inside the Alien War Council room, she had hidden behind the ventilation wall. She had recorded everything. They called it the final sweep. It was not a joke, it was not a bluff. They had used the peace treaty to lower Earth's guard. While humanity celebrated, the aliens built the cleanser, a weapon strong enough to destroy the planet in a single strike. They planned to fire it soon, in just 36 hours. Talia's message reached Base Orion just after midnight. Commander Elena Reyes was already awake. She never slept much. She didn't trust silence. When the report came in, she didn't wait. It's time, Reyes said. We activate Ghostfire, all. Across the solar system, humans moved quietly. Shadow Wing ships changed course. Hidden drones opened. Sleepers in alien cities, spies trained years ago, prepared to act. This was no longer a game of watching. This was action at the alien council station. Chancellor Dravex stood before the cameras. He gave a speech about unity, friendship, and future. He smiled wide. He said Earth would be invited to the Galactic Tech Network. He said war was in the past, but behind him 10 warships floated in low orbit, cloaked, armed, and waiting for. When command, back on Earth, the president didn't know everything, but he trusted Reyes. And when she called and said only 5 words, he gave the approval. Earth must not fall today. Inside the cleanser weapon, deep in the core, Talia moved fast. She had found the main control panel. Alien guards were everywhere. She only had one chance. She placed a tiny human device on the alien system, an override beacon. Then she ran. Behind her, alarms began to scream. Reyes stood in the war room. A giant screen showed the countdown from Oryx. Time to firing, 33 hours, 48 minutes. Colonel Voss asked, "Do we wait for them to strike first, then defend?" Reyes looked at him sharply. "No. If we wait, we die. We move first, but we make it look like we didn't." Operation Ghostfire was not a normal attack. It was a message, and it began quietly. 3 human drones entered a cargo ship, a ship the aliens thought was abandoned. The cargo ship exploded near one of the alien power hubs, disabling their communications for 7 minutes. In that time, Shadow Wing launched pulse beams at key alien satellites, not to destroy, just to blind. Next, a small human fleet moved into an asteroid field near the enemy weapon. They cloaked and prepared to strike. Talia's Beacon finally connected with Oryx. Reyes saw the weapon's full plan for the first time. It wasn't just for Earth. The aliens planned to destroy all human colonies, Mars, Europa, Titan, even deep space outposts. They want extinction, Reyes said coldly. Voss whispered, "We gave them peace," and they prepared a funeral. At that moment, the Alien Council received reports of strange system failures, missing data, blind sensors. They were confused, but then one of their leaders shouted, "A human signal inside the cleanser." Panic broke out. Alien commanders argued. "Fire now," one shouted. "Wait, confirm the breach," said another, but they were too late because Reyes had already given the final order. "Strike the weapon, cripple it, leave them no time to scream." In the blackness of space, 5 human stealth cruisers uncloaked. They fired EMP torpedoes, disabling the weapon's outer defenses. Then, 2 elite strike pods launched toward the cleanser's surface. Inside one of them, a special team of soldiers, Project Revenant, prepared for a suicide mission. As they landed on the surface of the weapon, they came under heavy fire. But their goal was simple: get inside, destroy the core, and get out, or not at all. The leader of Revenant Team, Captain Marlowe, sent a final message. "If we don't make it, tell Earth. We struck first, and we struck proud." Inside base, Orion, Reyes watched the feed. Talia was still alive, hiding in a maintenance shaft. The Revenant team had entered the core, but then the screen flashed red. Urix spoke. "Enemy fleet has launched. 30 ships heading to Earth. Code Black. Full assault." Reyes didn't blink. "They took the mask off," she said. "Now we take off ours." Earth's defense grid, sleeping since the peace deal, came alive. Satellites turned, cannons rose, shields activated. The illusion of weakness was gone. Above, alien worlds, hidden human outposts activated their own codes. Deep in alien territories, power plants began to fail. AI systems crashed. Humanity had planted seeds everywhere. The aliens thought they were the only ones playing a game. They were wrong. As the Revenant team reached the cleanser's core, explosions rocked the weapon. Lights blinked, walls cracked. One by one they were hit. But Marlowe reached the core. He placed a final charge, smiled for Earth. A bright light filled space. The cleanser was gone. But now the real war had begun. The stars didn't blink, but something had changed. The cleanser was gone, blown to pieces by a human strike team. What was once the galaxy's most dangerous weapon was now just space dust, but Commander Reyes knew better than to celebrate. She stood inside Base Orion's war room, staring at the battlefield map. Red dots, alien ships, were moving fast. Toward Earth, Oryx spoke in its calm, robotic voice. "Enemy fleet, 32 ships. Estimated time to arrival, 18 hours, 14 minutes. Colonel Voss looked nervous. "They're coming to wipe us out." Reyes didn't move. "No," she said. "They're coming for revenge." Humanity's attack had exposed the truth. The peace treaty was a lie. The aliens had planned to erase Earth. But now, they knew humanity had struck first, and worse, humanity had won the first blow. The aliens were angry, humiliated, dangerous. They would not try tricks anymore. They were coming with fire. Reyes walked to a private chamber deep inside Base Orion. Only 2 people were allowed inside. One of them was Oryx. The other was her. Urix's screen glowed with dozens of simulations. Enemy tactics suggest a 3-phase assault: orbital blockade, missile swarm, then surface destruction. Reyes folded her arms. "How long can Earth's main shield hold?" 12 minutes, 39 seconds, she nodded. "Then we strike before they even enter orbit." Operation Silent Strike was not about defense. It was about ending the war before it reached Earth's sky. Hidden beyond Neptune, Shadow Wing's Second Fleet waited in total silence. No radio, no signals, not even a light. Their orders had been given 5 days earlier. Wait, watch, strike. Only when the mask falls. Now the mask was gone. Captain Jonas Reed, commander of the stealth destroyer Ghost Lance, received the activation code. Black Echo. He smiled. It's showtime. While the alien fleet moved forward confidently, they had no idea what was waiting in the dark behind them. Because humans didn't plan to meet the attack. They planned to ambush it. 3 Shadow Wing ships slipped behind the alien fleet like shadows. On water, they launched disruption pods, black spheres that latched onto enemy ships and began shutting down systems silently. The aliens didn't even notice, until their lead ship stopped moving and then exploded. On the alien command cruiser, General Shirva shouted, "Who attacked us? Where?" No answer, because the attacks were invisible. Silent. Human stealth tech had evolved far beyond alien. Sensors. At base Orion, Reyes watched the battle feed. 5 down, reported Voss. No human losses. Reyes nodded. Keep it that way. On board the Ghost Lance, Captain Reed directed the next phase. Deploy the Spectres. From his ship's bay, dozens of black drones emerged, shaped like birds, silent as wind, fast as lightning. They flew toward the alien ships and attached themselves silently. Then they exploded in perfect rhythm. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. The alien fleet broke formation. Ships twisted, command lines failed. Some tried to retreat, others fired blindly. But they weren't fighting an army. They were fighting ghosts. One alien warship launched a full missile barrage toward Earth, but Earth's orbital defense net, Project Skyveil, activated instantly. Thousands of laser towers hidden in the atmosphere came online. They fired in sequence, like a chain of lightning. Every single missile was destroyed before reaching the clouds. General Shirva, furious and confused, screamed, "These were weaklings, farmers, scientists." His second-in-command replied, "They were never weak. We just believed our own lies." And then their ship shook violently, as Ghost Lance fired a railgun directly into their engine core. On Earth, people still didn't know the full truth. News anchors spoke of a regional space conflict, but in secret bunkers, military. Leaders watched every second. The enemy fleet was being destroyed, and no human ship had even taken a hit. Inside base Orion, Oryx said, "Silent strike, 74% success. Enemy fleet collapsing. Shall I initiate fallback trap?" Reyes didn't answer right away. She looked at the faces of her officers. Tired, focused, hungry. Then she said, "Not yet. Let them feel fear." The remaining alien ships began sending distress signals, not to their own command, but to the Galactic Council. They begged for help. They claimed humans had betrayed the treaty. They said Earth was committing war crimes. But Reyes had already planned for that too. A day earlier, Oryx had leaked alien meeting footage to the Galactic Council, showing alien leaders laughing about Earth's destruction. The Council was silent now, and Earth's hands looked clean. On the battlefield, only 3 enemy ships remained. They tried to flee. They didn't make it. The battle was over in 53 minutes. No survivors, no warning, no mercy. Inside base Orion, no one cheered. There was no joy in this war, only silence. Reyes stood in the dark hallway, staring out at the stars. "They called us weak," she whispered. "We showed them silence is strength." The door opened behind her. Colonel Voss stepped forward. "What now, Commander?" Reyes didn't turn. She only said, "Now, we go deeper." Because this was only the first wave. The war was no longer in the shadows. Now it was wide open. The alien fleet that moved toward Earth had been erased, not just defeated, but hunted in silence. The galaxy had watched with fear and confusion. Many still didn't believe it, but one thing was now clear: humanity was not weak. They had weapons no one had seen, ships that moved like ghosts, strategies that struck before questions could be asked. And this was just the beginning. In the depths of Base Orion, Commander Reyes entered the oldest part of the base. Few knew this level existed. Even fewer had ever been inside. This section had no digital signs, no ERIC systems, only hard locks, heavy doors, and stone silence. It was here that humanity kept its last resort, a project so secret, even the President didn't know everything about it. Its name was Project Ashen Sky. The door opened with a heavy hiss. Inside was a round chamber with 6 pods, each glowing faintly with blue light. Floating in the center was a capsule, filled with thick liquid. Inside it, a person, not just any person, a soldier who should have died years ago, but didn't. Reyes stood before the capsule. A soft voice echoed behind her. It was Dr. Amani, the head of Project Ashen Sky. "You're sure?" the doctor asked. "If we wake them, there's no going back." Reyes looked at the frozen face in the capsule. Eyes closed still, silent but not broken. "We don't have a choice anymore," Reyes said. "The aliens sent their fleet. That was a test. Now they'll send their monsters." Meanwhile, on a distant alien world called Zarnis, a council of warlords gathered. They watched the footage of the battle near Earth. One slammed his fist on the table. "They beat us. How? We had numbers, power, tech." Another said, "Not just tech, they had patience. They made us believe they were asleep." The third warlord, old and wise, leaned forward. "They have something we fear more than weapons," he said. "They have secrets." Back on Earth, Reyes walked with Colonel Voss through the hangar of Base Orion. "We'll need more than stealth ships now," Voss said. "They'll send bioweapons, planet killers, maybe even time pulse bombs." Reyes didn't stop walking. "That's why we built the vault." Under the Pacific Ocean, hidden far below the seabed, lay Earth's deepest defense base, Vault Omega. No one spoke of it. No one entered without DNA-level clearance. Inside the vault, machines ran simulations, weapons evolved themselves, and artificial minds grew in silence. At the heart of Vault Omega was a ship. Not just any ship, it was the first of its kind, the Epitaph. The Epitaph was not built for travel. It was not built for battle. It was built to end wars, shaped like a spear, coated in radar-absorbing metal and powered by a dark matter core. The Epitaph could fold space and time, launch attacks that never missed, and destroy entire fleets before. They knew it had arrived, but it had never flown, until now. ERICs came online across all command centers. Alien fleets confirmed on move from 4 outer sectors. Class, experimental, estimated arrival in 3 days. Reyes activated the launch sequence for the Epitaph. Engineers and AI systems worked as one. Vault Omega shook slightly as the ship came to life for the first time in a decade. Reyes stared at the monitor. "Tell the galaxy," she said. "Earth is not afraid." On the other side of the galaxy, a signal went out from a hidden alien moon. The warlords had made a decision. They would not just attack Earth, they would erase the species. They sent a message to their most dangerous creation, the Hollow Star, a sentient warship built from dying suns, powered by living minds, no crew, no mercy, no weakness. It would arrive in 7 days. Back on Earth, Oryx finished decrypting data from Talia Wren, the spy still alive inside alien space. She had uncovered something massive. "There's a second cleanser," the message read, "but it's not built to destroy planets. It's built to destroy time." Reyes felt a chill down her spine. "They want to rewrite history," she whispered. Dr. Amani spoke again. "If they use that weapon, they can erase our victories, our defense, even our memory." Reyes turned toward the frozen pods, then toward Oryx. "Wake them all. Every sleeper agent, every ghost fleet, every AI. We don't fight this war with just ships. We fight with everything we ever hid." As the galaxy prepared for chaos, humanity did not panic. They activated the Epitaph. They released the Ashen soldiers. They whispered orders to ghost fleets parked behind alien suns. They weren't fighting for peace anymore. They were fighting to survive. And survival was something humanity had always been good at. Reyes stood alone on the top deck of Vault Omega, staring out through reinforced glass. Below her, the Epitaph floated in silence, ready to leave Earth for the first and maybe last time. "Let them come," she said quietly. "Let them see the real Earth, the one behind the treaty, the one they should have feared all along." The stars were watching. Every species in the galaxy had turned their eyes toward Earth. Some waited in fear, some waited in hope, others waited to see if humanity would survive the final blow. But humanity was not waiting. They were moving. The Epitaph, Earth's most powerful warship, had left the ocean base. It didn't travel like normal ships. It didn't leave trails or light. It folded, silently through space, like a knife moving through silk. Inside, Commander Reyes stood on the bridge. She wore no medals, no colors, just a black suit with one symbol, Earth. Behind her, a crew of the best minds, soldiers, scientists, and AI partners, worked without speaking. Everyone on that ship knew what was coming. The Hollow Star was moving through deep space, a weapon created to wipe out entire civilizations, powered by living suns and haunted minds. It had already destroyed 3 star systems before. Now, it was coming for Earth. Urix's voice came through the comm. "Target intercept possible. Probability of success, 42%. Colonel Voss replied from base Orion, "That's not enough." Reyes answered calmly, "It never is. But we strike anyway." On the alien council homeworld, chaos had erupted. News of Earth's retaliation had spread fast. Video feeds of the Epitaph's launch, the destruction of the first cleanser, and the defeat of the alien fleet had gone viral across planets. Alien citizens were afraid. Their leaders, once proud, were now silent, hiding, blaming each other, and the galaxy asked one question: what happens if the humans win? Back in space, the Epitaph reached the halfway point between Earth and the Hollow Star. It stopped. Urix explained, "This is the dead zone. No laws, no observers, no treaties apply." Reyes stepped forward. "Good," she said. "Let's finish. This alone." Inside the Hollow Star, strange voices whispered. It wasn't just a machine, it had thoughts, twisted ancient thoughts. It had studied every human war, every trick, every sacrifice, and it hated them. It saw humanity not as an enemy, but as a mistake that must be erased. But humanity had learned too. While the galaxy evolved through peace, humans evolved through pressure, pain, and planning. They didn't build a perfect race. They built a resilient one. That's why they had created Project Mirrorfall, and now it was ready, on the surface of Mars, hidden under red rock. Mirrorfall had been in development for 40 years. It was a memory engine, capable of simulating enemy tactics in real time and feeding that data into human ships seconds before the enemy acted. Now, the Epitaph and Mirrorfall were linked. 4. Every move the Hollow Star made, the Epitaph would already be adjusting. Then the Hollow Star arrived. It didn't jump. It didn't warp. It simply bent the light around it and appeared like a nightmare rising from a dream. Thousands of alien eyes blinked across its surface. Giant arms of plasma spun around it like wings. Its voice echoed into the minds of the Epitaph's crew. "Your species is a virus. This is the cure." And then it fired. A beam of red energy, pure sunfire, blasted toward the Epitaph. But the Epitaph was already gone. It had moved, folded space, and appeared behind the Hollow Star. It fired back, launching pulse spears straight into the creature's neck. For the first time, the Hollow Star screamed. The battle wasn't fast. It was slow, terrifying, like two gods trying to break each other's bones. Each attack from the hollow star shattered nearby moons. Each counterstrike from the Epitaph left scars on space-time itself. And in the middle of it all, humanity stood, its ground. Inside Earth's orbit, the sky shimmered. Alien reinforcements began arriving, but they didn't attack. They just watched, because they wanted to know. Was Earth really unbeatable? And if so, should they surrender or join them? Back inside the Epitaph, the power was dropping, weapons were overheating, shields were fading. They had one last shot. Commander Reyes walked to the center panel. She opened a channel to Oryx. Prepare final strike, route power to the quantum. Spike, Oryx responded. Warning, core failure likely, crew survival 3%. Reyes smiled. We knew what we signed up for. The spike charged. Reyes looked around the room. Faces she had trained with, fought with, trusted. No fear, only focus. She gave the order. Fire! A beam of white light burst from the Epitaph. Faster than light, faster than thought, it tore through the hollow star's heart. The monster began to unravel, its energy bleeding into the void, its core collapsing in on itself. And then, silence. In base Orion, Colonel Voss sat frozen. Oryx spoke softly. Target eliminated. Commander Reyes offline. The Epitaph lost in fold space. Voss looked at the dark screen for a long time. Then he stood and said to the room, She didn't just win the war, she ended it. The news spread across the galaxy in hours. The hollow star was destroyed. The alien fleet was broken. Earth had survived. But more than that, Earth had led. Within weeks, something unthinkable happened. Alien races asked to join Earth's new treaty, one built not on fear, but respect. Not because Earth begged, but because Earth had earned it. A new galactic order began, and at its center, not the strongest race, not the smartest, but the one that had learned how to survive the impossible.